For 1 second.
Okay. Yep.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I hit the button.
No worries.
Good morning.
How are you?
We're welcoming in our friend Marco this morning, Mr. 49er himself. Good morning.
Good morning to you guys.
How pumped are you?
I'm wearing my NFC championship, because that's what would be the Packers. So I'm trying to channel the vibes, guys.
You got it.
I'm more nervous than pumped.
Really?
Yeah.
So
12 hours from the game. Yeah, I'm more nervous than pumped.
you don't feel like as a 6th seed you're playing with house money?
I got a taste of it. There's a part of me that really hopes we can take it all the way because we're still in the running. So yes, let's put it this way: if we lose to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, it's not going to be, oh my God, I can't believe another lost season, right? But it still really hurt.
Listen, I got you as one of the upsets of the weekend here. So
I appreciate that, man.
Wow. Marco, but the 49ers playoff record, now correct me if I'm wrong, because I did some history just real quick. Rodgers has never beat the 49ers in the playoffs.
0-4.
Right? 0-4, where Favre was, I think, 3-1 against you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, but to be fair to Rodgers, he played on the road 3 out of 4 of those games. The only one that he played at home was with, again, freezing weather with Colin Kaepernick showing up and sleeveless and with a last second field goal.
Marco, you might be a little. I'm not taking anything away from Rodgers, but you might be a little more of a historian than I am. I thought I heard yesterday, and I had it on as background noise, so I really wasn't paying attention. Has Rodgers not won a big playoff game at home? Didn't the Giants beat him that year to get into the playoffs under Tom Coughlin? I don't think Rodgers ever won the big championship game or the big playoff game at home yet. I could be wrong on that.
Oh, but I think he's only been in the Super Bowl once, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, he's lost the championship game a number of times. Yeah.
He does not have a good playoff record. Of course, it's either Super Bowl or bust. So every quarterback,
Mm-hmm. But I mean, he has, and I think, as you guys remember, we played the Packers in week 3, and we lost at home by 2 points because we were up with 36 seconds on the clock and, a couple of plus coverages on Devontae Adams and kick off a 50-yard field goal and done. But both teams are really different right now, besides the fact that we're going to play on the freaking tundra, right? It's going to be a frozen field.
Yeah, how cold is it going to be up there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's got to be brutal there, Marco, because it's brutal here this weekend.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine it's brutal there and there. I mean, it's going to be, and it's a night game too.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's here in New Jersey, it's 0 this morning. So
is it really?
Yes, I got 0.
Yeah. We're 14 here at the moment.
Jesus. I feel like it's summer here. We're like at 38.
Oh man.
Nice.
Wow.
But because it's been so cold here, Margo, the first 32-degree day here, I'll be out in a tank top and
shorts, getting a tan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like, fine, it feels warm now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I actually, I have no idea how this is going to turn out because, as I said, like the teams are really different today from versus week 3. We had a lot of players out. They had a lot of players out. The season evolved in whatever crazy fashion that every NFL season seems to sort of evolve into. I actually think that if the weather is that bad, from that standpoint, it's marginally better for us because it's true that we're not used to, freezing cold weather, but at the same time, we're more of a running game type of team than a, deep ball kind of air it out. Yep. And so I think if it's really that bad, that marginally benefits us. But overall, I just think the Packers are the better team.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, you know how these playoffs turn out. Not always the better team.
That's right.
Wins.
That's
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
I
There
mean,
are so many factors at play. Like, I look at the other 30 games, right? And everyone has clear opinions. I personally don't. I think I can see anything.
I could see 4 upsets
Yes.
this weekend. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Not saying it's gonna happen, but I could absolutely see it.
No, but you have to, I said it last week on the show, Marco, and I was wrong. I said wild card weekend always brings us something crazy. I don't think we got anything crazy last weekend.
Agree.
Like I picked 6 now, regardless, say what you want. I don't do the point spread, I don't do over-unders, I just pick it. I had all 6 games penned right. It went exactly the way I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, I mean, unless you say it's clearly really crazy to see a Bill Belichick defense, being blown out that way with the opposing team like marching downfield 7 times and scoring 7 touchdowns. Yes. Now, is that crazy? Yes, but in terms of that's a score, as you were saying, over under or points. But I also had the Bills over the Pats.
If you guys pull this off, okay, this weekend, would you rather face the Bucs or the Rams?
The Bucs, no doubt about it. I don't want to see the Rams again.
Gotcha.
I don't want to see the Rams again. I think at some point, it's just I don't think that we're going to beat such a talented team 3 times in a row in the same season in their own house again, having just beaten them. I'd rather have this crazy game between Tom Brady and Jimmy Garoppolo in Tampa, personally. And then we can have if we beat the Bucs, then we have a home game at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, that would actually be kind of cool, though. Garoppolo against Brady,
don't you think?
Kind of like full circle,
I agree.
With that New England tie. And
so, what do you think? What do you think out of those two? Do you have money on the Rams or the Bucs?
I mean, straight up, I think I'd have to take the Bucs. With the points, I'm taking the Rams.
Well, for me, I can't ever root for Tom. I really can't. And you know what? The asterisk would be that since he's been away from Belichick, I find him a little more likable. He's doing the Subway commercials. He's doing, he's become more of a human than that Belichick robot. But I can never ever root for him. He constantly knocks my team, or used to knock my team. So yes, I bleed green and white. So I'm pulling for the Rams.
And the shellac I think the shellac and the Patriots got last weekend. Okay, that tells you who was it, Belichick or Brady? I say it was Brady.
I think given what Brady pulled off last year and this year again, because they won the division again. Yes, he had a couple of duds, but I mean, who doesn't?
Everybody does, right?
And you look at what happened with the Patriots. Again, a rookie QB, I understand ups and downs. Like playoffs are a different beast and everything, but yeah, I think history is kind of showing that they both were incredible at their craft, but between the two, the real difference maker was Tom Brady.
Was him, sure, absolutely.
Yes.
But
absolutely,
let's be fair. Let's be fair. Not to take anything away from Tom. And correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said, I don't remember years. Like Tom Brady's first year when he won the Super Bowl, that defense, again, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, they had some studs on it.
Oh,
this Patriot defense, in my mind, doesn't have studs.
I agree.
They may think they do, but they don't. And I got to tell you something, guys. I felt like watching the game. And again, correct me if I'm wrong or tell me what you think. That was the first team I ever saw this Patriot team that looked like it was afraid of the cold. Didn't want to tackle. And this is a team that's used to this, plays in the cold, lives for the cold. This team looked like it did not want to hit anyone on defense.
You know what? Because you're right on both points. I think the first Super Bowl, let's also remember that he was getting beat up. Then Bledsoe came in, right, kind of saved the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the Super Bowl, like they had to decide, and Belichick went with TV. And then, history started.
The rest is history, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now, I think this year, especially in the playoffs or at crunch time, I think like superstar players make plays. That's why, if you have a very solid, you can have a very solid, offense, you can have a very solid defense. But the difference between being very solid and having 3 superstars is massive. Because when the going gets really tough, when crunch time hits, you want one of those players to step up. That's why, to be honest, I think had Fred Warner and Joe and Jesus, I was about to make the same mistake that every TV person would call in my own Nick Bosa, calling him Joey, and Nick Bosa being ruled out for tonight's game. I would have said we're toast. No matter, like, D'Amico Ryan can scheme all he wants. There's nothing you can do. You get those 2 players back, it's a different story. Same thing on offense, right? And I think you're right that this year the Pats were lacking superstars.
Yeah. No, I hear you. But if we would have sat here, the 3 of us last week, and asked for score predictions on that particular game, I don't think any one of us
saw a blowout. No.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
And again, the other game, just to speak of the other game that shocked me, not that they won, but in the fashion they won, or maybe, again, what do I know? I was surprised the Eagles didn't put up a better fight against Tampa Bay.
I agree. I think the Saints should have been in their spots in terms of just coming out of the NFC. Now, I know those are not the rules, but I thought at least the Saints had a legit defense, probably the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah,
I think that, like, the Eagles benefited from being in a weak conference, in a weak division,
I
and
understand.
then, the calendar working with it, blah, 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 whatever.
Yep.
The schedule and so on and so forth. But I agree that, it was embarrassing. I understand why some journalists the following morning were writing, did we really do the right thing in having 7 teams in the playoffs? Does that really make sense? Or right? Because you see games like that, I'm like, that's
so. I'm so glad you brought that up, Marco. I don't know if you watched last week's show. I brought that up to Kevin. Let me take this in baby steps. First off, let me ask you, forget the score of the game or the outcome. What was your take when you first found out we were having a Monday night playoff game?
I thought it's insane, I think, to have such a competitive advantage or disadvantage when every game is in or out, and you have concussion protocols to deal with, you have injuries to deal with during the cold season.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
I'm with you.
So again, so you didn't think they should have had a Monday game?
No.
Okay. My take was that I was afraid, not because of the level of competition, I was afraid that the NFL was going to see a Monday night game. The ratings were going to be through the roof. The dollar signs were going to be there. Sponsorship was going to be there.
Yeah.
Networks are going to fight for this game. That the NFL said, well, if little is good, more must be better. Do we water it down and bring in another 2 teams? Where now the regular season doesn't mean poo.
Yeah. When half of the teams make the playoffs.
Yeah.
No, that's not. No.
And that was my worry, Kevin. And I was kind of glad that the game turned out to be a blowout, because if you didn't have a rooting interest in any of these teams, you kind of shut it off by halftime.
Oh, yes.
You know,
yes.
especially if you lived on the East Coast or if you're overseas. But the game was a blowout by halftime. You had to get to work the next day. You shut it off. So in that regard, I was kind of glad, because the NFL is such a 17-week now grind. It's a great 17. Every game counts. There's no precedent in game 1 to game 15 to game. They all matter. And I was really worried that the product was going to start to get watered down. So I'm kind of glad it turned out the way.
I agree. I still think that 7 teams is one too many.
Yeah,
I think they should go back to 6. And I also don't understand why, if you really want to add a week, you know what you do? You add an extra week and you put an extra bye week in the middle, so that teams can rest, recuperate. That, because that season, I can't even imagine how players feel on Monday morning after spending 3 hours on the field like that, getting hit every 2 seconds, right? I can't even imagine.
Yeah, no, I agree, and we never will. But do we really want 7 and 10 teams or whatever making the playoffs?
No,
and you're right, Kevin. I said this last week. Ask a Charger and a Saint fan; they might feel different after everything how went down 2 weeks ago. I get it, but I want to see competitive football. I want to see my wild card weekend to be something that I'm sitting there, especially when I don't have a dog in the fight. My dog is watching these games. I don't want to have to turn it off for 2 hours and wait for the next game to come on. You know?
And you watch it for 2 hours because you really love football, because the average spectator goes, okay, they're up like 23-3. What the hell am I watching?
Yeah.
And at this point, we're so used to watching other teams in the playoffs, instead of our own. So,
when's the last time the Jets made the playoffs?
2010.
Yeah.
The 2010 season with 2011, but 2010.
Yeah.
And since you brought that up, a little knock to Troy Aikman. Look at your facts, Mr. Aikman. Jets have more playoff wins than Dallas since 2000. I'll leave it at that. I won't get into my rant on that one today. I won't get in. We have a guest. I'm not going to rant about that.
You know what? I have such a tough relationship. Well, relationships. Sorry. I have such, imaginary relationship. It's not that we're friends or anything with Aikman, because on the one hand is a UCLA legend. On the other hand is a Cowboys legend.
Okay.
And you know how I feel about the Cowboys, same way I feel about the Seahawks.
Of course. Same way we feel about the Pats and the Dolphins.
You know, Marco, the only thing I'll say, and I don't want to get off topic. You're on the show. The only thing I said to Kevin off camera was that for someone like Troy, who's in the business, who's a Hall of Famer, first of all, you shouldn't knock another team. But if you're gonna do it, have your facts straight. Know that since 2000 up until now, the Jets have more playoff wins than the Cowboys. He also knocked Jacksonville.
Jimmy Garoppolo by himself has more wins in the playoffs than the entire Cowboys franchise.
Wow. And I'm going to say something in a second, but I also want to stick up for the Jacksonville's fan base, because since 2000, they have the same amount of playoff wins as Dallas. And if you go back to 96, they have more. So, Troy, easy what you say. Easy what you say. And let me tell you all something out there, Mr. Aikman. Sanchez won 4 road playoff games. 4 road playoff games. So don't knock my team, Mr. Aikman. Know your facts.
In Indy, in New England. Yep.
Yeah. But we won't go on that. Let's reel us back in, Marco. Reel us back.
But I totally understand that stuff just gets under my skin. It's tough to let it go. Right. Especially when they're on air on national TV during the playoffs. Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. Well,
I don't understand. Knocking off other teams, I really don't understand it.
Yeah.
Just I don't understand fans that, throw stuff at other teams' players.
Did you see that? Let's visit that controversy with Dak and the fans whipping bottles and stuff at the officials. When when Prescott thought they were whipping it at the players, he had a big problem with it. When he found out they were whipping it at the refs, he's like, "Oh, good for them." So then he had to walk it back.
Yeah.
And pay the fine. I mean, you're the quarterback you're one of the 32 starters in the NFL, right? You're a very rich individual. You're super talented. You're supposed to be a leader. You know, I understand losing in the playoffs at home hurts. You know be
absolutely
a freaking pro, because that's what it means to be a quarterback in the NFL, among other things, right? Well, just be a pro.
What? No, you know what? Let's forget that. Let's throw Dak under the bus. Forget his comments. His comments.
I'm good.
His comments were made because, let's face it, Marco, and I'm sorry to raise my voice there, he made a bonehead play on that final drive that cost his team.
Yes, you wasted time.
It's just, I think high school kids are taught that if there's less than 16 seconds on the clock, 16, 18 seconds, do not run a draw. Or if you do, just run it for like 5 yards, because you need to wait for the official to spot it. And then what you do, not only do you run for too long, but also you try to steal 3 yards, so the ref needs to come around and grab the ball. I mean, where do you think you are, on a beach?
Yep. Agree. And that's the point. And that's the part of the game or the situation that pisses me off the most. Not that I understand the extra 3 yards cost him 2-3 extra seconds. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that aggravated me, even if the ref spotted the ball, he wasn't going to have time to spike it. There should have been a second play already in that huddle. There should have been a third play already in that huddle. And yes. Some of it's going to fall on Mike McCarthy, who coached terribly again and managed his clock poorly. But Dak's got to know this as the team leader, as the billionaire on this thing. He's,
I think the Cowboys looked so poorly coached. And I don't know what it was, but the number of mental mistakes, because our mistakes all came, unfortunately, from, again, one guy. I love 10. I will forever be grateful for Jimmy if it stays another year, another 5 years, if it's gone after tonight. But all of our mistakes were mental mistakes by our quarterback, right? Plus a dubious call on that 4th and inches where he spot the ball at the end when Deebo Samuel ran outside, and first they gave us the first down, and then I don't know how they remeasured it, and then they came up and said, "No, you're missing half an inch." Right? But aside from that, it was all on. Unfortunately, it was all on Jimmy. On the other side, if I think about the number of penalties, the number of frustration, dirty plays that I saw on the field, the number of bad calls, and those are on the coaching staff.
Okay.
With the exception, I think, of their special teams coordinator, because I think he's really, really good. It was good with the Rams. He's good there. I wish we had him, because ours is just not that good.
Marco, let me ask you a question. Now, I speak as someone who doesn't bet, doesn't gamble, doesn't follow point spreads. Do you find now, with all these betting apps and betting becoming illegal, the officiating is really bad this year? Like almost overly bad. Like that Bengals call was a terrible call. That blowing up, blowing. What are you blowing the whistle for? He's in bounds. Where's that whistle? Why is that whistle? And then the umps didn't even realize this.
Yeah.
That,
you gotta look into this. I think Kevin brought it up the first time we did our podcast together. The first time around, Kevin brought it up. With his concern about how rigged some of these games look. And you know what? It's tough to dispute that. I know mathematically you can't prove a negative, so we'll never be able to prove it.
I've watched some games this year where I'm like, going for 2 points there, huh? That's awfully strange.
Right?
And it's sure enough.
Yeah,
you can tell from the spread, everybody had money on, say, the Bucks over so-and-so.
Yeah.
And it falls right in that thing, man, where Vegas says, all right, everybody pass.
I thought that was again on towards the end of our game last week on that call that was referring to, because technically if the umpires make a call on the field, then you need to have sufficient evidence to reverse that call, right?
Yep.
How long it took them to actually come up with something where then they decide it is this far from the chains, this far, where you couldn't see it from any angle. Maybe it was short, maybe it was long, but truth is you couldn't tell. And you made a call and you move it enough that is this much.
Yeah. Now, agreement, Mark. And of course, you're always going to get someone to say, well, you know, we want to keep the game as real as possible. We don't want to always go to the eye in the sky, whatever. I saw 3 calls and 2 of them could have changed the outcome of the game. And one kind of did. The Bengals call was a bad call, and those refs and those umps cannot do a playoff game the rest of the season. I don't know if there's going to be a deeper investigation, but I know that officiating crew is out. The Deebo Samuel's call, like how it went from a first down, which he looked like he was a foot over the yard, to falling a few inches short. And now I'm going to bring up a game, and only because it's a Jet podcast and it had no outcome in the game, but we're just talking about how poor. I just bring it up, Marco, because we were talking about the officials and how poor. The first drive in Buffalo Jets game, which meant nothing to the Jets other than pride. It really meant nothing to Buffalo. Buffalo marched down the field and scored a touchdown. But the ruling on the field was no touchdown. So then when Buffalo challenged, the umps got together, figured they're not going to give this guy a touchdown unless it's conclusive, which it won't be. But on the field, after 3-4 minutes of deliberating before the challenge, they reversed it and made it a touchdown. So the eye in the sky will have a hard time changing this again. Now, that touchdown had no outcome in the game. We were blown out. But
there was betting on
no touchdown. Buffalo challenges you, regroup, make it a touchdown so the eye in the sky can change. Like, you know what? Something's got to be looked at now with this betting and all this nonsense.
And you know where I really notice it? In over-unders, like points.
That's the thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's exactly where I was going with it, because it's one thing if you're just betting on who wins or loses, right? But it's when you start getting into the over-unders or the aggregate, like the points and scores, and then it gets interesting. There's so much money in it.
Yeah. And I just want to say, we're running out of time with you, Mark. I wish we had longer. The one thing I do want to say, like Kevin, you brought up the point on going with the 2-point conversion. How are you guys, because we're all in the same age group, how are you guys feeling now about analytics slowly coming into football now, where you're seeing, on 3rd down, you have a better percentage of going for it. 4th down, like the 2-point conversion now turns out to be almost a better opportunity than kicking the extra point. Like, how do you guys real quick feel about all these analytics now seeping into football? Like, I feel analytics is ruining baseball. How do you guys feel? You know, like you said, Kevin, going for 2-point conversions.
Well, I mean, you know, there's supposed to be a chart, right? There's supposed to be a chart of what you do when and everything. And in my opinion, that's a guide, but the chart's out the window. If every situation's different, you know. I mean,
so were you guys?
And it's so, you know, you can take 2 examples. So in aggregate, you're going to get the same kind of data, right? It's good to go on 4th down versus kicking it in these situations. But then you take 2 coaches, ours and the Chargers.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Right. Kyle Shanahan tends to play very conservative. We seldom go for 4th down, to the point that sometimes you go, oh, come on, man. And I don't think the Chargers coach thinks he's playing only 3 downs once he's crossed midfield. That's just not how he thinks.
Yeah.
Part of it might be, you know, different quarterback, whatever it is. I think, you know, Look, we're in the data age. We'll get more and more data. More and more data is getting thrown into soccer, into basketball, into everything. That's
everything.
Right into everything. Like and when we go grocery shopping, so that's the world we live in. I still think, especially in a game like the one that we love, where there is so much into it. Ultimately, we go back to the differences made by superstars, coach superstars, wide receivers, quarterbacks, cornerbacks, you name it. I just think that thankfully that's what continues to make it fun. I'm much more worried about refs. I think refereeing is horrific.
But it has been for a long time.
Yes.
I just want to add my 2 cents on these 4th downs, Marco and Kev. Maybe because I've watched such a bland football team for the last few years, like the Jets been so predictable that I'm a little jaded in that sense. Know the situation. If you're a good team with a good defense, anything from 40 to the end zone on their side of the field, I don't mind going for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2. But the move that has me irked was what the Charger coach did with 8. He was on his 18-yard line in a crucial game going for it on 4th and 1. That's what I don't get with these.
I saw that. I was like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, that's what he looked at the analytics and said, okay, well, and he went for it, which to me, that was stupid. I don't mind. If I'm a Jet fan, the way we've been playing, if we're in the red zone and they want to go for it every time on 4th down, I'm for it. As long as 4th and 1, 4th and 2.
Yeah.
The more you spice things up and leave that defense guessing, the more the field opens up to you. But know the situation. This is why I feel analytics does not fit into this game, because it's not like baseball where it's that one pitch to that one batter. This is 11 men.
On 11 men plus 550 zebras running around the field.
Yeah. That stuff has to go to me. But again, somebody will tell me, the younger generation will tell me, old man, get out of here. This is the way the things are going now.
Old guys,
Yeah. You guys are dinosaurs.
Given that we have 5 minutes, do you guys want to go with predictions for tonight?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
Well, tonight and tomorrow. I mean,
let's go. What do you got?
Bengals,
so
Titans.
I'm not gonna say anything about us because I can't.
Oh, come on! You gotta pick your game.
I can't. I mean, I can only say 49ers, but I am beyond stressed out about it. I told you, yes, pumped for it, but I'm really worried.
Marco, no one's gonna hold it. You're a 49er fan. You're supposed to take your 49ers.
That's right. That's right.
Then I really hope. And I think that ultimately it's tough to beat Tom Brady at home. So I have the Bucs.
Okay.
I also think that the Chiefs at home are going to be really tough to beat.
Okay.
I think the upset can come from the Bengals.
Wow.
I know the other guys are rested and everything, but
I'm writing all this down.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad you wrote it down too, Kev. So, Marco, if the Packers win tonight, if the 49ers win tonight, do you feel like you might want to come on again next week because there's some good luck?
Oh, big time. You can't. No. Like I don't care what you guys do. I'm going to show up.
That's fine. We listen. We love having our guests on. We love the friendships we made with our guests, and
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And we knew you prior to doing the podcast, so this was just, a home run having you on. It's always great.
No. So what do you guys? Who you guys have?
Things past me.
Jerry.
I guess, Kevin, we could do our predictions with Marco and then talk about the remaining games when we come back. What do you think? Should we give our predictions while Marco's here? And then
yeah. Let's do it. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So for me, Marco, I got the Titans tonight. I think at home, Henry back. I don't know what type of Henry we're getting. If we're getting 100% Henry, but I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Oh, you're right, because they got Harry back and they're
Yeah.
missing their entire. Yeah, you might. Yeah,
So
that
we'll
might
see.
be a tougher upset than I think. Yeah,
We'll see.
I get it.
But it's not going to shock me if I don't think anything
No.
this weekend is
No,
going
no,
to
no.
shock me.
As we
So,
said, all these games can go one way
Yeah.
or another.
who do you got, Kev?
Titans Bengals.
Yeah.
You know, I can't. I'd love to see the Bengals do it, but my gut tells me Tennessee.
Okay. All right, we got to make this quick. We got 2 minutes, Marco.
Okay,
Marco,
go.
I'm going to be straight up honest with you, brother, because you know I love you. I'm rooting for the 49ers, but I'm taking the Packers.
Yeah, I understand.
I know it sounds stupid. I know.
No, I understand.
I know.
I'm going to take the Niners as the upset of the weekend.
Nice. I said it to you guys earlier. I can't root for Tampa Bay. I got the
Fair
Rams.
enough. So you got the Rams. Now you got to pick the Bills, Greg, so that you and I know that we have like the opposite side of every bet, and Kevin can play house.
I'm taking the Rams also.
Okay. Marco, I can take Buffalo. You know, how am I going to take?
I know.
I'm taking the
Fair
Chiefs.
enough. So
I
you
know.
take the Chiefs, yeah.
And I know.
Yeah.
I know Kevin is as well, unless he's going to shock us
But
with a
and
monkey.
you know
no,
what?
no,
Here
no.
it's one of those games. Where I think literally the Bills could, if they set the tone from the beginning, they could trample all over Kansas City. Because right now they look unstoppable.
Yes.
I have never seen a team stay that unstoppable for that long. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Marco, good luck tonight.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I
Great
appreciate
having
it.
you on, buddy.
It's been
You're
a
gonna
pleasure
do it.
as always.
You're going to do
Take
it.
care.
All right.
I hope so. Take care.
Great. We'll see you
Thank
next.
you again.
We'll see you next week.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
All right.
Well,
Marco,
all
what
right.
a great guest. Always.
Absolutely. So we're going to have to start this. We're
I know.
going to have to see you in a minute. So
Yep. Unless you think did we say enough? Should we touch up on the other games? I know we're talking as the podcast going on, or you want to call it a day? You're the boss, my brother.
I don't know. Less than a minute's going to cut us off anyway. So
What, you want to call it a day?
call it a day.
Sounds
You guys-
good.
You guys enjoy the games tonight. Okay. We're back. See how I changed my background?
Hey, listen, we've always said about our show is that we don't have the fancy bells and whistles. We don't have the producer in our ear reading us facts or telling us what to do. This is how it's done, homegrown.
That's
from the
right.
bottom up.
That's right.
How you build the audience. Live
So-
mistakes, everything. Whatever can go wrong does go wrong, and we don't give a rat's you know what.
Nope. Don't care. Don't care.
It was fun having Marco on. He was a great guest.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Stuff about his team. Well, we made our predictions. Kevin,
Yes,
it
we
seems
did.
like for the first. No, I don't think so. Right? We agree on the Rams. We agree on the Chiefs. We agree on Tennessee. We don't agree on the Packers 49ers.
No, I can see the 49ers pulling this off, man. I really can.
Well, like I said to you and Marco, I know it's weird. I'm pulling for the 49ers because, again, I don't have a horse in the race, but it's going to be hard to beat the Packers down there. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
absolutely,
pick the
man.
Packers.
Absolutely.
I hope I'm wrong because I would love to have Marco back on next week.
Hey, I told them we'll see him next week. So
Yeah, he'll really be a nervous wreck next week, and you can't blame him.
Oh man, absolutely. So
Do you feel this 49er team, because of how they had to get into the playoffs, they had to fight the last couple of weeks, has that giant feel to it, like what the Giants did? I think the year they were 9-7, got in as the wild card and ran the table.
and went up to Green Bay and beat the Packers.
Yes. Whoever thought, because I know I didn't think Eli and the boys had a chance in, I believe it was negative 10 degrees that night in Lambeau Field.
It was cold. It was really cold. Like one of the coldest it's ever been.
That we've witnessed, other than that Ice Bowl game that I wasn't alive for, but wow. Funny stuff. And what I like having the guest on, and I want to get more, I really do. And I keep saying to people out there, I keep trying to get people to come on. It brings a different aspect to the show. Like here, I had all my notes on what we could talk about. And I'm glad we just got to just wing it and hang out with
man. Wing it.
Yeah.
Hang out, BS, and talk football.
Yeah.
Talk playoff football.
So this was fun. I do have, since we came back on, we might as well talk a little. I do have two interesting things I did learn about the Jets this week, and maybe you did too.
What do you got?
I'm hearing that there was talks with the Braxton Berrios camp, but that hit a snag. I don't know how true that is. I thought Braxton came out and said they were in discussions, but I don't know if
I had heard like a week or two ago that they were talking. Yeah.
Okay.
But they wanted to get him signed.
Yeah, I heard that too, but I heard something more recently, and I should have took better notes and got better, but I thought that might have hit a snag, so we'll see. And what do you think about this this 5th round pick that the Jets signed off the Cowboys for the waiver wire? This Brady.
Yes. I saw that.
Defensive end. Do you know anything about him, Kevin?
No,
I don't. I didn't do my
nothing.
research on him.
Nothing.
I'll have to do some research over the weekend, and we could talk about it next weekend. But other than that, my only aggravation in my rant was the Troy Aikman thing that really pissed me off. That a man of who's
it's a Cowboy homer.
Yeah.
I don't know what he
But to throw two other teams under the bus, what he should have probably said was, you know what? If Dax can't win in the playoff game, he's never going to go down as a great Cowboy quarterback like I am.
What do you got to involve other teams for?
Yeah, like who are you to knock two other franchises? But and maybe these two franchises make it easy, Kev. But let me tell you, the narrative is changing around our team. I don't know who Jacksonville's going to bring in as a coach, but I'm assuming whoever they bring in is going to change the narrative around that club too. And to be in the business and knock like that, to throw two teams under the bus.
No,
when
man.
Your facts are, but on top of it, to have your facts wrong,
that's like me coming on here.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
And throwing other bands under the bus. We're not even. I don't think we're recording this.
Oh, you're kidding?
No.
But didn't it say record message?
Yeah, it is. No, it is.
It is recording?
Yeah. Listen, it's been a long week.
No, listen. Hey, it is what this is our show. This is how we do it. No, we're IKEA, Kevin. You bring it home and you build it as you know what?
That's right.
We were talking about Troy Aikman, and this came out a few days before he said his comments, because and as a Jet fan base, and me and you do it constantly, we kind of knock our team as well. But since 2000 up until now, we are the 15th best, or I don't know how to word this. We're the 15th best in playoff wins since 2000. That means there are 14 other teams who did worse than us since 2000, and Aikman's Cowboys happen to be one of them. So let me just read you the list of playoff wins since 2000 as the top three. Do you want to take a guess who the top three are? Let's do that. Let's have some fun. Do you know who
playoff
the top
wins
three are?
Since 2000?
Who would be your top three picks?
Patriots.
Okay, they're number one with 30. The other two might shock you. If you get these, I'll be very surprised.
Let me think here.
Yeah, take your time.
I'm trying to run it through my head here.
Yeah, no, take your time.
KC?
No. And you would think that, right? Because the Chiefs played so much playoff football in the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah. When I read out I'm going to read out the 32 teams because I think it's going to shock you. Go
ahead.
So the Ravens were number 2 with 16.
Ravens, yes.
And I believe they just let their OC walk away. They fired their OC, I believe. I heard that this morning. The Steelers at number 3
Pittsburgh. Okay.
Sorry for the cover. 15. Then we got a three-way tie between Seattle, the Eagles, which shocked me, and Green Bay with 14 playoff wins.
The Eagles. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. Now remember, this is from 2000.
You were
everybody.
thinking McNabb and all. Is that where we're going back to?
I would guess, was McNabb the 2000s? I guess he was, right? He would have had to been, because before that was Randall, right? Randall
Cunningham. Yeah, Cunningham.
Yeah. This one shocked me the most. The Colts. 13.
Oh, hey, the Manning Colts. Yeah.
Yeah. Then the Giants and the Saints were tied for 10. All right. San Francisco, 9.
Wow.
Tampa Bay and the Chiefs and the Panthers tied with 8.
The Panthers.
The Panthers won, right?
Well, yeah, all right. Yeah, the Steve Smith Panthers.
Yeah, Delhomme, right? Jake Delhomme.
Yep, Jake Delhomme. Yeah.
And then when Superman, what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Cam.
Cam. When then he took over, yep. The Rams and Denver are tied with 7. And our New York Jets and our Atlanta Falcons with 6.
Wow.
So that means, Kevin, there are 15, correct me if I'm wrong, 15 other teams.
Oh, where's the Cowboys?
Oh, I'm going to get to them. Because there are a boatload of teams still ahead of them. Tennessee, Vikings, the Chargers, and even the Cardinals have more playoff wins with 5. Okay? Then you got the Texans and the Raiders with 4. Okay? Notice I haven't said the Cowboys yet, Mr. Aikman. Let's get him on our show and debate his comments with us since he made them. And you know what? Cowboy fans, say what you want. These are facts. I have them in front of me. Jacksonville, the Bears, Buffalo, and the beloved Aikman Cowboys with 3. 3.
Well, there's certain fan bases that if they have a jacket to the team, it stays in the closet till their team wins, and then they take it out and put it on.
Yeah.
I find that a lot with the Cowboys.
Yeah, you're probably right. And then we have Washington, Miami, which was I don't know why I'm shocked, but I was a little shocked with Miami. The Browns and Bengals just 1 playoff win since 2000. Detroit Lions being the only one with none. 0.
Gotcha.
So, and these numbers came out 3 days before Aikman's comments, but it was kind of like the stars were aligned, that Aikman, if you did a little research and checked your facts, you would have saw you were wrong.
It comes down to shut up, dude.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Shut up, dude.
And just in case Cowboy fans want to argue with me, Mark Sanchez, who is known for the butt fumble, the poor guy, which he doesn't deserve that. Everyone should know, people, Sanchez went to 6 playoff games.
That's right.
All on the road. Won 4.
Beat Manning. Beat Brady.
Yep.
I mean, it's
6 playoff games all on the road. Went 4 for 2. 4 for 2 in the playoffs, which gives him more playoff wins. Now, this fact I don't have correct, but I think I am, than Romo and Mr. Prescott. So, Aikman, calm down before you attack another team's fan base or another fan base's team.
And not only beat those guys, but beat those guys in their own houses.
Yep. So, you know what? Get your facts, Mr. Aikman. I wish somebody listened to our show who knew Troy and could get him on so he
get his ass on here.
I don't mind you knocking. Like, I know over the summer Mark Schlereth knocked our team and there were war of words going on, but at least he had his facts correct. And some of them weren't even, in fact, they were just funny observations. Aikman, you're totally dead wrong on this. So shh. Anyway, that's it for me.
Yeah, that's it. We just wanted to jump back on. We didn't want to end it like that. So
yeah. All right, Kevin. This was
it is
fun.
what it is. It is what it is. Hey, a big shout out again to Marco for coming on. Good luck to his Niners tonight, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I think they're going to do it.
All right,
I could be wrong, but I think they're going to do it.
Like we said, Kevin, this is probably the best division round games we've seen in a while. I could be wrong again. I don't remember all the games, but if any of these teams win this weekend, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm shocked. And I don't think anyone else should be either, but
No, absolutely
we'll
not.
see. We'll
Absolutely.
see.
All right,
All right,
you
my
guys.
brother. This was fun as always.
Okay, we'll have this up for you guys in a little bit, and you enjoy the games today, tonight, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And we'll see you to talk about it all next week, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Very
All
good.
right, sounds good.
Have a great Saturday, you guys. And jet up. We'll talk to you later.